This week's episode of Weekly Weird News is sponsored by Stitch Fix and by Rakon.
So at this point, we've been doing this show for what, 5 years?
Seems like an eternity.
I was bound to reach a point where we feel like we're just stuck in some sort of endless time loop, doing the same stories about the same people over and over and over again, trapped in an eternal purgatory of Weekly Weird News.
They say that history repeats itself, and whoever they were right.
That they was Matthew McConaughey.
Oh, okay.
Time's a flat circle.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's very much the case this week. Almost everything we're about to cover is things we've already covered at least once before. There's, of course, Jacob Wohl, and we will get to him later, but we've also got Tide Pods, Russian comedians prank calling Republicans, bedbug Brett Stevens, teenagers pretending to have jobs that they don't, shitty robots, and I guess we could start with Blippi.
Yeah, why not?
You remember Blippi, right?
Who could forget?
He's pretty much the most popular creator of children's content on this website, like a Blue's Clues or Mr. Rogers for the YouTube generation. Except unlike Mr. Rogers, one time Blippi filmed himself taking a huge diarrhea shit on his friend and uploaded it to the internet.
Yeah, and if you're possibly a concerned parent out there who just found out that the guy that you plop your kid in front of took a big old loose dump on another guy while stark naked, you just go watch the video that we made back in February about Blippi's doo-doo ass. It was, as we said when we saw it for the first time, he really took the Harlem Shake and, I think it peaked with his video.
It was the best one.
Yeah, for sure. Well, turns out Blippi, like many of us out here in LA, tried a few different personas before finding the one that was right for him. And that's the case with his persona, Steezy Grossman. In the early 2010s, Steezy Grossman specialized in gross-out comedy videos, often involving pee and poop and whatnot. And during the same time the Harlem Shake was briefly popular, he did that. If you recall Harlem Shake, it's the Bauer track, the Harlem Shake. It would open with a calm scene that would jump cut to the music and people would be going crazy. Well, in Steezy Grossman's Harlem Shake video, it cut to Steezy Grossman with no clothes on except a helmet, projectile shitting onto, possibly into, his naked friend's ass. We obviously can't show you, but BuzzFeed News did a very nice thing for everyone, and they had an artist illustrate what it looked like.
I love this picture.
It's a great picture. It's actually better than the video.
Yeah. So that's very disgusting, but also pretty funny, as long as you don't have a weak stomach. And as we've said in the past, we don't think Blippi's a bad guy, nor do we think his Harlem Shit video means that he isn't also capable of making good, safe, kid-friendly content. Although I tried watching a little bit of it today, and I felt like I was in hell.
What, the Harlem Shake video?
No.
Oh.
Blippi.
Okay.
Not Steezy Grossman, Blippi.
I like his one about garbage trucks.
I think that's his most popular one. I watched him bake bread, and I was like, I never want to have a child.
Okay.
I don't want this playing in my house. But yeah, this is all very funny, especially considering how long he was able to keep the Harlem Shit Steezy Grossman thing hidden. He deleted all the evidence of Steezy Grossman. He even legally changed his name at one point because his old real name still showed up on archived web pages from his Steezy Grossman days. He went above and beyond.
Yes.
And we still found out. Anyway, as for why we're bringing up Blippi again, I guess it's mainly to just remind you and remind ourselves about that, because again, it's hilarious.
Yeah, it's really funny.
But also, we may have been wrong to give him the benefit of the doubt, because Blippi might actually not be a good person.
Oh.
Or at the very least, he might be a very greedy person.
Well, money does that. I guarantee you he didn't act this way when he was shitting on his friends.
No.
Because he was shitting on them physically, not emotionally.
Yeah. Oh, you kids think you got it hard? Back in my day, I had to take a fucking shit in my friend's asshole to make YouTube money.
Man, this one's, we can't even, justifiably click that we didn't say gross things within the first minute of the show.
Yeah, they got us.
Anyways, Blippi. This week, Blippi, he announced that he'll be doing Blippi Live, a 30-city North American tour, which is a first for him.
Wow.
Obviously, being so popular with so many children and getting millions of views for everything he uploads, this is going to be a huge success. The kids, they want to see Blippi. And when Blippi announced the tour on his Facebook page, parents rushed over to Ticketmaster to buy up tickets so their kids could see and potentially even meet Blippi. And he's definitely washed his hands since that video. I can guarantee it.
He teaches the kids how. He's very, surprisingly for a guy that took a shit on another person, he's really big on hygiene. And the kids love it.
Well, anyways, this is all...
So yeah, they're going to meet Blippi.
Yeah.
Blippi's going to meet the kids. Take your kids and meet the Blip himself.
Yeah. Except, according to Blippi himself, or rather Stephen John, the guy behind Blippi, he won't actually be going on tour and will instead be hiring an actor to pretend to be him, Blippi. Which, yeah, sure, I guess 3-year-olds, they probably won't be able to tell the difference, especially if it's in a fucking arena.
Yeah.
More than 10 feet away,
But
these kids can't tell.
He is doing meet and greets that people paid a lot of money for.
You know what the camera does, kids? It makes you look different.
Yeah. Camera changes your bone structure.
Anyways, parents are fucking pissed about this.
Oh.
So, and rightfully so, I guess.
Yeah, so BuzzFeed News, who I believe they were the ones that broke the original Harlem Shake video. So someone at BuzzFeed they're on the Blippi beat.
They're gonna get a Pulitzer for this.
So they talked to a bunch of these angry moms. They're all understandably a bit upset that they dropped hundreds of dollars on Blippi tickets, and Blippi won't even be there.
It's more of the idea of Blippi.
Yeah. Blippi is more of a concept.
Yeah.
Said one mom who dropped $400 on 6th row seats and 2 meet and greet tickets, "I'm livid. I'm trying to get a refund." Another mom said, "I didn't find out until 5 seconds after I submitted my payment, and Ticketmaster refused to refund me. Ticketmaster didn't seem to have any info about it being an actor on their website. The info is buried on the bottom of the FAQ page on Blippi's website."
I like how she found out 5 seconds after buying the tickets. Well, what? That's just bad luck. That is just bad luck.
Yeah. Another parent said, "We'd already told our child we were taking him and are now in a bad position where we just have to hope he doesn't notice." After spending almost $200 on this and driving 2.5 hours and paying for a hotel on top of that, we are disappointed, to say the least.
Well, you know what you do? You show the kid the shit video.
Yeah.
I don't want to see Blippi anymore.
Blippi's scary.
Yeah.
Or maybe they'll love it.
Well.
Like, oh, now we have to meet this guy.
Well, then...
He's just like me. He loves poo-poo and pee-pee.
He has more in common with these kids than he thinks.
Yeah.
Now, we personally cannot wait to hear all of the stories of small children getting to meet Blippi for hundreds of dollars and being utterly traumatized when they see up close that the Blippi that they're meeting is, in fact, an imposter. It's an important moment in every child's life, realizing that adults are liars and you can't trust them. Also, that a guy who makes millions of dollars a year off 1 or 2 videos a month and endless merchandise can't be bothered to actually do his own live shows.
Come on, man.
And then 10 years later, you realize that Blippi, he took a diarrhea dump on a naked man's butthole.
Yeah, that's kids these days, they're all going to turn like 13. Whatever the equivalent of like rotten.com they have, they're going to find out about Blippi's doo-doo ass.
Yeah. Our generation had to find out that our heroes were sexual deviants.
All our shit was bullshit. They're like, Mr. Rogers, he's got sleeve tattoos because he got 80 confirmed kills in
No, I was talking about Bill Cosby.
Oh, that one, yeah.
Yeah.
Serial rapist Bill Cosby.
Yeah.
That was true.
These kids, I mean, just a bit of scat play, that's all.
Yeah.
Anyways, childhood, it's magical. It's actually it's very good that Blippi is providing character building moments like this.
Yeah, I mean, this is what you take your kid to go see Santa.
Yeah.
They're not meeting the real Santa.
Maybe it's. Do you know what the imposter Blippi looks like?
They haven't announced him yet. I'm really excited. I want to see.
Yeah.
Like I hope it's someone who looks nothing like him. I hope it's someone who's like fat, just like completely different bone structure, different voice.
I don't know.
But Blippi is bigger than one man now. It's an idea. Reminds me a lot of when Gallagher...
Yes, I was just going to bring up the Gallagher thing. Gallagher sold his act to his brother.
The prop comedy, yeah. So Gallagher,
look him up. You'll have a great time.
Gallagher, he was booking like fucking arena shows in like the late 80s.
He was huge in the 80s.
But there were still markets that wanted him, and he was like, "No, I'm not going to come out to fucking Wichita and play your 10,000 seat theater. Fuck you."
Yeah.
Although...
My brother looked
what if
just like
someone
me.
who looked just like, and his brother looked identical to him.
Yeah.
So he'd send out his brother to do the smaller markets, and they would give like little to no, disclosure.
Well, and back then it was harder to do that as well.
Yeah, and he looked like Gallagher, and but then the brother, this was a great opportunity for him, and he took it way beyond what real Gallagher wanted him to do. Started doing his own booking, and real Gallagher's like, hold on,
geez.
He's not the real Gallagher, I'm the real Gallagher.
And now real Gallagher is a right-wing extremist.
Yeah, he's gone a bit off the deep end. He had a heart attack live on stage recently as well. So
he had he only does no smash shows now. He doesn't bring the watermelon smashing out.
Well, then what's the point? Give it back to your brother.
I sent my dad to go see him because they were big fans in the 80s, and he enjoyed it. He said, he says it like it is, which means he was saying terrible things.
Probably. All right, well, with that out of the way, let's move on to this week's Jacob Wohl, Jack Berkman news, because this shit is now officially a weekly occurrence.
Yeah, they need to re-edit the gif of Vince McMahon walking out and just put Jacob Wohl's face on it every time he comes out of the house.
It's funny you make a wrestling reference, because this is starting to feel like fucking wrestling.
Yeah, but they were heels at first. When are they going to turn?
No, they're never going face. They are heels forever. And they love it.
Mm-hmm.
So last week, they of course held 2 press conferences, one in which Wohl and Berkman claimed to know the identity of the Ukraine whistleblower, and another in which a man claimed to have been Elizabeth Warren's BDSM fuckboy. Neither of these press conferences involved any actual proof. In fact, if you watched our video last week, you know that the Warren accuser is just straight up verifiably full of shit. But then again, if you know Jacob Wohl and Jack Berkman at all, you know that everything they do is full of shit. And yet, they persist, holding press conference after press conference, hoping that something, anything, will finally stick. And the reason for this probably has to do with the fact that Jacob Wohl is due in California court on October 24th to be arraigned for his felony charges of unlawfully selling securities. And, he's probably going to have a little bit less free time for things like this going forward. So he's trying to cram it all in.
Mm-hmm. Now, as we said,
carpe diem, as they say.
As we said last week, if you're completely out of the loop on who Jacob Wohl is, we do not have time to explain it to you, but we have created a playlist with all of our Jacob Wohl videos conveniently in one place. So just start there if you're lost and you want to spend several hours learning about one of the most bizarrely terrible people in America.
I might make a supercut for the end of the year.
Okay.
We'll see.
Long story short, he's a grifter, and his grift of choice is falsely accusing various enemies of the Republican Party of scandalous and or illegal things that they definitely didn't actually do. Because Jacob Wohl and Jack Berkman are liars, and literally no one believes anything they say anymore. And people are, it's becoming less and less of a crowd every time they do it, and more people dressed up in costumes.
Yeah, they don't really pull journalists so much now. They just pull the freak show. It's
like holding signs like WWE.
Yeah, it's like the Wally George show. You ever this public access show from Southern California in the late '80s? It was way ahead of its time, but it was like a fucking freak show. And Wally George was the villain. People would show up just to yell at him and get him angry.
Well,
that's what you get here.
They're entertainers. I got to give them that.
Yeah.
Now, the first time around with the Robert Mueller accusations, the usual suspects among online conservatives treated the story as potentially factual for about a day. But since then, obviously, the support has dwindled down to nothing, and you'd be very hard-pressed to find a single person, aside from Jacob Wohl's dad, who treats anything that these guys say seriously.
Yeah, it's every time they do one of these, you check, Daily Caller, Daily Wire, they're shitting on them even harder than a lot of more liberal outlets. No one likes these guys.
Before you sent me the link, I hadn't even seen this latest one. It was just completely floated over.
Yeah, this one's wild.
Okay.
So yeah, Berkman and Wohl, they're a huge joke at this point, and bizarrely, they seem to be really embracing this.
They like the attention.
Many people, including us, groaned and rolled our eyes when this week's press conference was announced, thinking to ourselves that maybe this time we don't take the bait. Maybe we don't give them the attention that they crave. But then the press conference happened, and folks, I don't know how they do it, but they somehow did manage to top themselves again. By which I mean that the Wohl-Berkman thing has completely transcended being newsworthy and become something more akin to professional wrestling or the kind of weekly improv comedy show that you'd see at UCB at 2 a.m. on a Sunday. It's clear that Wohl and Berkman don't actually expect anyone to believe anything they say, yet it gets them attention, which they crave regardless of whether it's positive or negative. So here we are.
Yeah. This week's event was advertised as featuring a formal personal trainer of Senator and presidential candidate Kamala Harris, who claimed to have repeatedly engaged in sexcapades with her.
Sexcapades!
It's always sex with them. Now, leading up to the event, Jack Berkman tweeted, "We will have Dunkin' Donuts at tomorrow's 2:30 press conference. We know that many morbidly obese people regularly attend. We would ask that you only take 1 or 2 donuts per person. Many thanks."
He's coming out swinging.
They had the donuts at the last one, and I was like, well, that's nice. Show up and get a donut. And now they're the whole hook on getting people to come isn't the scandal.
Yeah.
It's the free food.
But yeah, he knows how to cultivate. He's I need to get the hostility going in the beginning. Hey, you fat fucks! Yeah. I'm bringing you fat fucks some donuts, but don't eat too many.
Just eat one, you fat fuck. Anyways, at the event on Wednesday afternoon, around 40 people showed up, almost none of whom were members of the media. In fact, as far as we can tell, only 3 people there were journalists, and the rest were just hecklers, neighbors, and neighbors who came to heckle. These included a man in a corn cob costume, a banjo player, a bagpipes player, a washboard player, and loads of other people clearly there to have a good time at the free show.
Yeah, a lot of people had those little party horns.
They need to have like the tuba. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, next time.
Or
If you live in the DC metro area, own a tuba, and don't have a job, please show up to the next one, because there's the next one.
No.
Anyway, Wohl and Berkman, they came out, accompanied not only by their latest accuser, but also a few more people. Some random woman started things off by singing the national anthem horribly, and then Berkman led the crowd in the Pledge of Allegiance, and then a fake pastor led everyone in a prayer for Kamala Harris, which referenced the biblical story of Sodom and Gomorrah, and we know the pastor's fake because, according to the Daily Dot, he literally told them he's not actually a pastor and was just getting paid $175 to be there, and he seemed very confused. Anyways, his prayer was batshit insane. Damned be the harlot, damned be the whore, damned be the deviant, for there is the harlot, the whore, and the deviant who corrupted a perfect child and all of God's kingdom. Heavenly Father, amen, amen, amen.
wow, cool.
Now, I watched this, I assumed, this must be some sort of biblical verse or like an existing prayer or something, so I Googled it several different ways. Maybe I got something wrong. No, this is 100% original.
Well, they got
written
the money's
by
worth.
Wohl and Berkman.
Oh, okay,
they wrote
okay.
this prayer.
I thought the fake priest did it. It's like maybe he's like a Halloween priest. He shows up at haunted houses. And
Maybe
scares
he
people.
did. If he did, they should pay him more because,
Yeah, he shows up at those Christian
when you have
haunted
a
houses.
writing credit, you should get more. But yeah, anyway, next they brought out this week's accuser. And let's just go ahead and read his statement.
All right. My name is Sean Neweldass. I'm an accomplished personal trainer. I am 26 years of age. I have served as a personal trainer to Senator Kamala Harris since she began her work on Capitol Hill. For several years, our relationship remained purely professional and focused on keeping her in shape. Usually, our workouts focused on interval cardio training. As she prepared to run for president, the workouts became more intense. Our purely professional relationship eventually turned into more than that. On June 9th, 2019, I began an extensive sexual relationship with United States Senator Kamala Harris at the Doubletree Hotel in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Since June 9, I have had a total of 11 sexual encounters with the senator, although in 3 such instances, she only performed oral sex on me, which is unusual for my clients.
But, at this point, someone showed up to serve a cease and desist letter right in the middle of this man's story, almost as if right on cue. Shocking.
Telegram.
Berkman then made a big heroic speech about how they will not cease and desist. And around this time, a heckler started playing Darude Sandstorm on their Bluetooth speaker, and then the bagpipe player started playing, along with the banjo guy and the washboard guy, all sort of just doing their own thing. It's difficult to convey just how hilariously chaotic this whole thing was for most of its running time. Please go watch the full video. This one's extra short. They kept things nice and tight. It's like 15 minutes.
They're getting much better at their entertainment.
Yeah, the comedic... they put on a good show. I have to credit them. Like, these are terrible people. Very bad people.
Yeah.
But their showmanship is improving. I have to give them props for working on it like that. Anyways, despite Berkman and Wohl yelling at people to shut up, they didn't. And Sean Neweldass, whatever.
Neweldass.
Weird name, and it's actually his name. Sean Neweldass continued his story.
From the outset, it became clear to me that the senator's sexual needs and desires were beyond exotic. I will never forget the grunting and various noises she made during our first encounter. She sounded like an angry bull. The senator told me that she was frustrated with her husband sexually due to his complete lack of size. "It's so small I can hardly feel it," she said on several occasions. Our second encounter was in the DC metro area in mid-July 2019. For this occasion, she asked me to arrange a small orgy. I had been instructed to bring one black, aged 20... I had been instructed to bring one black, age 18 to 22, and one white female, age 25 to 35. She also requested that the man be uncircumcised, saying that she, quote, didn't want to be reminded of her husband. Jesus Christ. I did as I was told and was paid $3,000. Despite being in her 50s, the senator was able to have sex for more than 3 hours straight, eventually ending up covered head to toe in sweat.
This is just fucking fan fiction again.
I know.
Jacob Wohl is rubbing one out as he writes this stuff. He's writing it with one hand.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
really, it's enlightening on like how this fucking dude's brain works.
good for cardio, though.
He's decided at a young age, like, I'm going to be into politics for some reason, because I've been banned from the financial industry, and I'm going to like make it really sexual for some reason. I'm going to get horned up all the time.
Anyways, the statement continued.
Our third encounter took place at the Willard Hotel in Washington, D.C., this time in early August 2019. The senator insisted that I bring 2 black males. She specifically required that they be 18 or 19 years of age. Here, she enjoyed double penetration, or DP as she called it. She insisted on being called names during this session. I was not comfortable calling the senator sexually charged expletives, but she demanded it, so we obliged. As always, she complained constantly about how pathetic and small her husband was. She said that her husband makes a good living, but that his last wife left him because of a total lack of intimacy in their marriage. Our fourth encounter took place in New York City. For this, I received $7,500. This time, I was instructed to bring 2 white athletic males aged 30 to 40. Again, she asked that they be uncut, as not to remind her of her husband. They performed simultaneous vaginal intercourse on the senator, which I refused to participate in. Both of these men later told me they were bisexual. I have not heard from the senator for almost a month, but I have retained all text messages between her and I, which I am happy to share with the American people. I am coming forward in the interest of truth and public transparency. I am not politically motivated, and I have no ill will towards my former personal training client.
That's just too much detail.
And, not a lot of them aren't important details.
Yeah. She called it DP. And me, a normal mid-20s male, I call it double penetration.
Yeah.
Frequently.
DP.
Mm-hmm. Now, of course, once again, despite claiming to have evidence to back up their claims, as of 2 days later, they've provided none, because none of what they're claiming actually happened. In the Q&A section, they made even more bogus claims, like that both Andrew Yang and Bernie Sanders had come over to Berkman's house, aka Election 2020 headquarters, to be personally vetted, with Sanders receiving the Berkman-Wohl seal of approval and Yang still under review, so we'll have to wait and see about Yang. With almost no actual journalists in attendance, though, the Q&A was mostly just hecklers trolling them. So Berkman and Wohl, they wrapped things up quickly. Before that, though, Wohl tried to spray the crowd with a hose, but no water came out, because a heckler had turned off the faucet earlier before they'd come out, just adding to the hilarity.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like before they had come out at the beginning, their fake security guard with the one AirPod, he had come out of the garage and just turned on the faucet. And then the people there were like, what? And they followed the hose, and the hose led up to the top of the stairs, but it was, one of those gun
They got outsmarted by a man playing a washboard.
And so they were like, I think they're going to spray us. Let's turn it off. Yeah. So they immediately just turned it off, seconds after
Did they laugh at him after he tried?
Yeah.
Good.
And then he ran inside like a little bitch.
No.
But, before he went inside, at one point, a girl asked Jacob for a selfie before he left, and he responded with, only because she's a cute blonde. They took the selfie, and then on her way back down the stairs, the girl said, by the way, you said I was cute. I'm 17.
Jeez.
Followed by, have fun in prison.
Wow.
Fucking the youth. The youth will save us. Mm-hmm. Wohl and Berkman then invited in the few actual journalists in attendance to do interviews and such. In their interview with the Daily Dot, Wohl claimed that he currently has 4 girlfriends, and also that members of the Arlington Police Department were at the event undercover, which they, of course, denied when the Daily Dot followed up on it later, because this guy lies about everything. But the 4 girlfriends thing is totally true. Later, Jacob Wohl sat down for a live fireside Periscope interview with News to Share's Ford Fisher, where he appeared to be absolutely shit-faced. He was slurring his words, hiccuping constantly. It's not even worth watching except for the first 30 seconds or so, because he's drunk in a way you can't fake this kind of drunkenness.
Yeah.
Where you're just sort of
it's the only way I have to live anymore. Mm-hmm. As for who this Sean Newell-ass dude is and why he would make these sorts of accusations, well, Will Saumur of the Daily Beast spoke with him, and he said basically he got the job through Craigslist, and it was an ad looking for a male actor for a performance art piece. And when he showed up at Berkman's house, he was told it was an audition for a show on Spike TV, which no longer even exists. So he didn't even know who Kamala Harris is and assumed that she was a fictional character. He was promised $500, and he still hasn't received that, and he probably never will.
Yeah, he also says that, hilariously, the first script that he received via email was a completely different set of accusations about Joe Biden, so I guess we've got that to look forward to.
Oh, I'm just not good enough about writing sexual fan fiction about dudes. Let's switch it to Kamala Harris.
Let me put this one on the back burner. I'm going to punch it up a little bit. I don't like thinking about Joe Biden's dick, but Kamala Harris getting pounded.
Yeah, that's cool.
Getting DP'd.
Mm-hmm.
I can work with that.
Yes.
Elizabeth Warren, doing some just hardcore BDSM. I can work with that. I can get hard to that. Joe Biden, I might need to get a little drunk for that.
Yeah.
So, this guy, he was pretty understandably mortified when the truth of everything started to come out, especially since Wohl and Berkman had let him to believe that this was a huge career opportunity for him, which was going to lead to big roles and big money. Yeah, they really took advantage of someone.
Yes.
Also, coincidentally, this guy is mixed race Indian Caribbean, just like Kamala Harris. So upon learning about her, he feels really guilty about being involved in this on many levels.
Yeah.
He expanded further on all this in a YouTube video that he posted, and it just really drives home how as funny and as stupid as these Wohl Berkman antics are, these guys are basically sociopaths who don't care about anyone but themselves. Yeah. If you live near Arlington, they need to put signs up, just like, do not talk to this man.
Yeah.
Pictures of Wohl and Berkman.
Yeah.
Beware.
At this point, they're doing it like every week. We should probably just fly out and go to one.
I know. There's a good chance.
I mean, if we just go to D.C., it'll happen.
Well, we know
to be one.
We know Jack Berkman's address because he posts it on fucking Twitter every week.
Yeah. So maybe one day we'll show up and attend one. At least. Yeah.
How expensive is it?
And how hard could it be to play a tuba if I've never played it before and I want to rent one? Anyways, remember how we said that this was a weekly event now? They've already announced their big press conference for next week. Let's look into flights. I'm serious. Nancy Pelosi's drug dealer who sold her cocaine and ketamine is their next accuser. Will this be the press conference where we finally get tired enough of all this to stop giving them the attention that they crave? Or will we be in D.C. live on the steps?
It's on Monday.
Oh, geez. I don't know if I can then.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have to plan it better next time.
Yeah.
We'll have to wait till it's Joe Biden's Viagra deal.
They announced this one pretty last minute, and it's weird. They're usually in the middle of the week. They're really fucking up. Yeah. Consistency, man.
Anyways, just thinking about all this, we want to just drink.
Yeah, I could use it.
Just like Jacob Wohl. Mm-hmm. A little nightcap.
Get a little loose after my big press conference.
Get real loose. That's how he goes to sleep every night.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyways, maybe we could just down some Scotch whiskey.
Scotch.
But we don't have any Scotch glasses here at the studio.
What? How are we supposed to drink Scotch?
Well, Elliot, that's not a problem anymore, I guess, because Glenlivet is going to start selling whiskey in Tide Pods very soon. Glenlivet, formerly what I would hold up to be a pretty decent Scotch whiskey.
A reputable brand.
Mm-hmm. Well, yes, all those Tide Pod eating memes from 2 years ago that every boomer took at face value and caused a nationwide panic, they have led us to this point. Major brands selling their liquid goods in pod form. If it's good enough for the kids, it's good enough for the whiskey drinkers.
You still on Twitter, like if you look hard enough, you'll find boomers getting in arguments with people and being like, well, at least I'm not from the generation that eats laundry detergent. Yes, I believe everything I hear.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm a gullible fucking rube. Anyway, First off, even though this is Glenlivet, the whiskey in these Tide Pods is their entry-level Scotch, and it's flavored. So these are basically cocktail shooters, and they're not wasting the really good shit on Tide Pods, in case you were worried about that. Secondly, yes, the pod itself is edible. Down the hatch, baby. They're made from some sort of like seaweed-based substance. How you actually ingest the whiskey is a bigger question, but I guess you could either just pop the whole thing in your mouth and bite down, or bite off a corner of it and suck it all down, but then you risk spilling it all over yourself. It just doesn't seem like a convenient, easy way to do anything.
Yeah.
But lastly, this isn't actually a thing that they're selling. It's available at one bar in London during London Cocktail Week, and they're handing them out at the door. They're not actually available to order at the bar. So this is just a gimmick. And the science behind how it works means that it'll never actually get mass-produced because the pods break down way too quickly, like after a few days.
Especially with like alcohol in it.
Yeah, the alcohol and the sugar, it eats away at it.
Yeah.
They don't last. Mm-hmm. But it does exist, and based on the internet's disgusted yet fascinated reaction, we're probably going to see a lot more companies put their products in Tide Pod form. So there's that to look forward to.
I can't wait for to just put a whole thing of barbecue sauce in my mouth. Nom, nom, nom.
I mean,
no more dipping. Waste too much time dipping.
Give me the pod.
The chicken nugget, and then you put the pod on top, and you put them both in your mouth.
Yeah.
No fuss, no muss.
And you bite it and just poof.
Yeah, just shoot.
It
fills
messy.
your mouth and just comes out of your nose.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it looks gross.
That's
And I heard like,
season 59 of Hot Ones. So you're picking up the spicy pods.
With someone, they didn't have the alcohol one, but someone has tried this before with other drinks, and they said it was like completely fucking disgusting because all you do is you put it in your mouth and you bite it
it's
down.
just this like film.
And the water, the liquid immediately goes down. You swallow it, but then you have just this like disgusting thing in your mouth that's like slowly melting away unless you swallow it.
Yeah. They use this for water on a lot of like marathons because marathons they waste a lot of plastic bottles. So they started, at checkpoints, instead of giving you a cup of water or whatever, they were canning out these pods. Mm-hmm. They'd pop them in their mouth, gulp it down, and then like spit it on the ground. And, it's biodegradable, so it's fine.
Yeah,
that makes some sense.
They should put
whiskey though.
Whatever's in the middle of gushers, they should put in a giant one of those pods so you can have like the ultimate gusher. That'd be good.
Would it though?
Yeah, would.
Why not just a big gusher? Why do you want the juice alone?
I got a big thing for gusher juice. I'm sorry.
You buy them, you're like,
oh yeah.
All right, get rid of the meat. I
you
just
never
want
did
the
that?
Juice. No.
You bite into it and then squeeze it out and lick it?
Yeah, I mean, it did that, but I still ate the rest of the gusher.
Nah, get rid of it.
You just want just the juice?
Give me the juice.
I only want the gush.
Oh, God. Anyway, speaking of products, it's time for some ad reads from this week's sponsor, starting with Stitch Fix.
Clothing in a pod, a Tide Pod clothes.
It just explodes all over you, and you're instantly wearing it.
No, it's normal.
It's turning into fall, slowly but surely.
Yeah, you're going to need clothes.
A new wardrobe. And personal style is like a fingerprint. You're going to have your own. Whatever your style, the expert stylists at Stitch Fix are ready to help you express yourself. Stitch Fix is an online personal styling service that delivers your favorite clothing brands right to your door. To get started, go to stitchfix.com/weird, answer some questions about your preferred style, and your personal shopper will ship you a box of clothes, shoes, and accessories.
There's no commitment required, and you only pay for what you keep. Shipping, exchanges, and returns are always free. Plus, the $20 styling fee is automatically applied towards anything you keep from your box. You'll never have to worry about looking good again with Stitch Fix. Get started today at stitchfix.com/weird and get an extra 25% off when you keep everything in your box. Mm-hmm. That's stitchfix.com/weird.
And also this episode is sponsored by Rakon. In these post-headphone jack times that we live in, everyone is going to need a great pair of wireless earbuds. But before you go out dropping hundreds of dollars on a pair, you need to check out the wireless earbuds from Rakon. Rakon earbuds start at about half the price of any other premium wireless earbuds on the market. We saw those Windows ones this week, too expensive.
Yeah.
They sound just as amazing as the top audio brands. And their latest model, which Elliot is putting in right now.
The E25s?
It's their best yet, with 6 hours of playtime, seamless Bluetooth pairing, more bass, and a more compact design that gives you a nice noise-isolating fit. Rakon's earbuds are comfortable. They're perfect for on-the-go listening and taking phone calls. And unlike some of your other wireless options, Rakon earbuds are both stylish and discreet, with no dangly wires or stems.
Get them out of here. Mm-hmm. Yeah, of course they don't just look great, they sound great too. Rakon was co-founded by Ray J, and celebrities like Snoop Dogg and Cardi B are obsessed with Rakon earbuds. Rakon offers their wireless earbuds for everyone in a range of fun colors at an unbeatable price. So we genuinely love our Rakon earbuds.
I use them every day when I go running.
I use mine constantly. I used mine this morning on a walk. Mm-hmm. So we cannot recommend them enough. Go to buyrakon.com/weeklyweird to get 15% off your order of Rakon wireless earbuds. If you've been eyeing a pair, now is the time to get an amazing deal. Again, that is buyrakon.com/weeklyweird.
Now get those things out so we can do some headlines.
They cancel the noise so well that it's like you're talking that you can't hear your own voice. It just sounds like bass. So yeah, all right, it's time for some headlines.
All right, yeah, headline time. You started.
Deja vu again. A teen pretended to be a cop. A real cop hauled him away.
Wait, hold on, that's illegal.
Yeah, this he didn't really try that hard. Like he bought some lights for his car. So it kind of
those are always fun to freak your friends out with.
Yeah, it kind of looked like an undercover cop thing. He pulled someone over for supposedly speeding, but he was just wearing like a polo shirt. He had a fake badge on his belt. But yeah, then a real cop was like, "What the fuck? Who you with? Which town are you with?"
Department?
Yeah, and ended up arresting the kid. The kid broke down like a little bitch. And he found like a fucking gun in the kid's car. I'm like, this could have gone. Gun and handcuffs. This could have. What? And they're like, it's just boys being boys. He really wanted to be a cop. He's probably just gonna get a slap on the wrist. I'm like, do we know that?
Probably not. I mean, yeah, impersonating an officer, it's a crime. But yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. I think
it's not illegal to have a gun.
It's but like having a gun and pretending to be a cop. I don't know.
The two are unrelated.
I don't know if
the gun is for my personal safety. The uniform is for me to make me feel like a bigger man than I am. Actually, that's what the gun's for too, but I wouldn't use them together.
Yeah.
That would be too much man for one society.
Well,
I'm compensating on both,
yeah.
okay?
I
You see, the gun is an extension of my penis.
This guy's like 6'5" too, though. Like, I don't know.
Well, that was probably
know.
believable.
And they checked his Facebook, and it's just like he only follows like police departments. He's obsessed with cops, just like a little Malachi Robinson, but like
why don't people like this
worse.
just go to the police academy? They're hiring everywhere.
he's 18. Like, I think you're at least there's like training programs and shit. Like,
Yeah,
you might have to go to community college for like
you go to community college and you do like
like
criminology.
criminology.
Go there.
Cop class.
You go to cop class. Become a detective.
Yeah, it's not a job with a high barrier for entry. Like, if you are that young and you want to be a cop, you can go and be a cop. It's not that hard.
Goals.
Yeah, it's not a difficult career to get into.
And be a good one.
Yeah. Please.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Although I mean, look, actually, maybe he's got good intentions, but someone this fascinated and fixated on like driving around with a gun and pulling people over. Yeah, I'm not sure I want him to be a cop.
Yeah. Well, maybe with this charge on his record, he won't be allowed to be.
He probably won't.
Yeah. Moving on, Lindsey Graham prank called by Russians pretending to be Turkish defense minister.
The Russians, they keep getting us. These weren't even the same Russians as the ones that called Rick Perry.
Oh, no?
I thought they were the same, but it's just very popular in Russia to call up American Republicans.
On their personal phone numbers that they have.
Yeah, the Rick Perry one, I looked it up. It was on our old channel, but there's someone else re-uploaded it to YouTube. But that one, these Russian shock jocks, they're like the Jerky Boys of Russia. They were pretending to be the Prime Minister of Ukraine. Mm-hmm. They were on the phone with Perry for like 22 minutes. This time, these Russians were pretending to be some like Turkish official, and they were talking about like kind of relevant, sensitive shit about like the...
Yeah, Lindsey Graham was just yapping.
Yeah, the war zone in Syria. And Lindsey Graham, like he's on the public side, he's been like, oh, we're betraying our friends in the Kurdish military. Yeah. And on this phone call with the Turkish guy, he's like, yeah, I fucking hate those Kurds. Like, fuck them. I wouldn't trust them either. You should really do something about them.
Yeah.
Lindsey Graham is such a fucking little rat.
Yeah.
Just the worst.
Total piece of shit. And it also puts like some kind of proof behind the fact that he's obviously just doing that publicly and like told Trump that he's going to go hard on it publicly to like, It's
all cosplay. Mm-hmm. Another rerun. Bret Stephens backs out of debate with bedbug professor because event wouldn't be closed to the public. If you don't know what any of that means, this was a video a while back. I'll show the thumbnail on screen. But yeah, the columnist for the New York Times, Bret Stephens, made a career out of writing about how safe spaces are bad and the millennials are the whiniest generation who can't take responsibility. And then absolutely tried to ruin a man's career for telling a joke on Twitter about Bret Stephens being a bedbug. Apparently they came to an agreement. They're like, well, we'll have a debate about civility at George Washington University. And they were both down. And then like fucking last minute, Bret Stephens was like, actually, could you make it not open to the public so only students can come in? And they're like,
we're going to make a safe space for you?
Yeah, like, wait, are you asking for a set? He's like, oh, all right, I'm not doing it. Bye. So, yeah, these millennials with their safe spaces. I wish they could be more like Bret Stephens' Gen X, I guess. Yeah. Boomer Gen X generation, where, they're always ready for a debate.
Yes.
And, not completely insufferable.
Mm-hmm. Police robot told woman to go away after she tried to report crime, then sang a song. The robot looks cute, too. It looks like it's a nice song that it's singing.
Yeah. This happened in L.A., or like East L.A.
Oh, really?
Huntington Park.
We have police robots?
Yeah, at this one park called like Salt Lake Park.
I didn't even look into it because it was on like the article I saw was from like the UK. So
yeah, this was local.
Those crazy UK.
Nah, there was like some fucking like gang-related fist fight in a park, and this woman saw it and she's like, "Oh, police robot!" And she ran up and she like pressed the button that said like "Call police." Didn't do anything. She tried she's like, maybe it needs to see my face. Nothing happened, and then it was just like, get out of my way. La-di-da-do-do-do-do. And then she just used her phone. But then the cops showed up, and they're like, oh, yeah, we're just, testing these out. They don't actually work.
Oh.
Which is like, why would you put that out there with a button that says,
call the police.
Emergency button, if it doesn't actually, it doesn't do anything. It just moves around the park. We're just testing it out to see how people react to it.
Really, they probably put them out there assuming that just the presence of a police robot would
it's like a scarecrow.
Yeah, exactly.
Scarecrow for gang members.
Yeah.
They'll see the robot,
And now the jig is up.
Yeah.
Now everyone knows that the robot doesn't do shit.
Yep. They're gonna
Just fucking sing
and now they're just gonna bully that robot.
Oh my god,
to death.
Is there a lake there? It's gonna go right in the lake.
Yeah, there is a lake.
It's gonna go right in the fucking lake.
It's going in the lake.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And it won't even be able to call for help.
I feel like that's another thing that happened. Didn't a fucking security robot fall in a lake or like a fountain? I'm getting a lot of deja vu.
Yeah.
Lately. There's no original stories. Speaking of fucking shit that keeps happening, White House accidentally sends Ukraine talking points to Democrats again.
How do we keep doing this? It's probably because we keep firing people, and the only people that want to work in this administration are not really the best.
Yeah, that's probably part of it. Yeah, this is some real incompetence.
I mean, a fucking whiskey Tide Pod like right now.
Yeah.
This episode is too much. Well, they keep doing it, and it gives you a lot of insight into their thinking and their strategy.
Deflect.
Yeah. His fucking rally last night was
creepy?
On a whole different level.
Yeah, it's a cult now.
All
right, everyone. You see this tubs? I want you to pour yourself a glass, and we're all gonna drink it together.
Don't listen to the babies crying.
Don't listen to the babies.
Don't listen to the crying. We'll all soon ascend to a better America. Convicted bank robber makes 5-day closing speech to court.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
So he's a German bank robber. He's fucking old. He's been robbing banks in Germany for like 40 years.
So filibuster is a real thing over the courts?
The German courts allow a convicted criminal to give final remarks that have no time limit. So he made his stretch out to 5 whole days to filibuster him going to jail. He's like, apparently he's talking about how he's like knows more about the law than anyone in this courtroom, including his own lawyers and the judge, and like making fun of the cops for a big portion of it. He was having a good time. He was really like getting it all off his chest because he's 71. He's going away for like 12 years. He's probably going to die in prison.
Well, it's Germany, so they were feeding him too the whole time. You got to get 3 meals a day, so he's just sitting there eating and doing his thing, getting the free meals.
You need more mustard?
Enjoying the freedom, one last pretzel. And well,
I wonder if they serve beer in German prison.
I don't know.
It would be cruel and unusual not to.
All the German ex-cons out there that watch the show, let us know.
They probably have YouTube in there too. Mm-hmm. Probably really nice.
A vacation.
Jesus shoes with holy water in the soles are selling for $4,000. Just like Jesus would have wanted.
Exactly. There's some real hype beast shit.
There was a single pair made by some like fucking weird marketing company out in Brooklyn. But it was actual holy water.
Of course it came out of Brooklyn.
From the Middle East. They had it blessed. They put it in a single pair of like, what was it? Nike Air Max 97s, I think. And they sold it for like $1,000. Within a couple hours, it was up on StockX for $4,000.
Did you see the giant Timberland boot that they put in New York City?
No.
It's gigantic. So everyone can go there and lick it. I'm not kidding. They put an actual fucking boot, like a giant boot.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I like size art.
Yeah.
Art of things that are sized differently than they are.
Yeah. Hey, look at that.
You can't tell by the way that it is.
Mm-hmm. That boot is too big for his goddamn feet.
Was that a duck? They should get a giant duck to put in this Timberland.
Just keep building upon it.
Yeah.
Male cat needs glucose drip after mating with 5 females in one night in pet hotel. Damn.
It's a real fuckfest.
A pussy slayer.
Yeah. Yeah, the owner he was pretty pissed because he left
The owner of the male cat or the 5 female cats?
Well, the male cat owner. Also, the rest of the female cat ones are pissed too. This was in China.
Oh, uh-oh.
And they assumed it was a pet hotel, like they lock them up at night. But no, they
just let them loose.
They leave, and then they're like, all right, well, see you tomorrow, cats. Let them loose. It's just a fucking orgy.
Yeah.
This male cat, dehydrated, fucked all the cats, may have gotten some of them pregnant. The next day, like, the owner had to take him and put him on a fucking IV drip in the pet hotel. They're like, that's not our problem. He finally bitched enough that they paid for it. But now, like, they had to notify all the other cat owners. They're like, your cat might be pregnant.
You got to assume that the cat owner is probably pretty proud of his cat, though, too.
I mean, it's probably one of those things where you yell at your son for being such a pervert.
And you tell your friends.
And then you shut the door and you're like, you know what, son? Good job. Proud of you today.
It's a weird analogy because you said he was a pervert, but...
No, but that's like some shit that weird regressive dads do.
Oh, okay.
They're like, my son did what? He grabbed a girl's ass? Well, that's terrible. I'll discipline him. He's like... Good job, son.
Yeah. That makes sense now.
Yeah, they're bad people. GPS company removes suspected killer's ankle monitor after he failed to pay monthly fee. Loophole, baby.
Yeah. There you go.
Now you know. Mm-hmm. Just don't. They make the criminal pay the monthly fee. So you just don't pay.
Yeah.
They'll come and take it away. Now you're free.
Capitalism finally worked.
Yeah.
Yeah, for this guy. But now he's a suspected killer, so.
Yeah, it's probably a bad thing that he doesn't have his ankle monitor.
Well, I hope this GPS company learned their lesson.
Jeez, we didn't think about that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not their problem. They're just here to get paid.
Yeah, exactly.
I hope the police learned their lesson.
True. Hundreds lose their driving licenses during Oktoberfest e-scooter mayhem.
Yeah, this is the first year that Munich has had e-scooters.
I can't even fucking imagine.
And, I mean, in Germany, like in many places, being intoxicated on a scooter is
A bad idea.
legally treated the same as being intoxicated in a vehicle.
Yeah.
So, a lot of people in Germany getting DUIs. And over there, a DUI is like serious fucking shit. Like, I think you're only allowed to get one in your life. It costs a fuckload to get your driver's license back. Like, a lot of people don't even bother. But also, you live in a country that has, like, one of the most robust public transit systems on Earth. Like, you don't really need a car.
Exactly.
It's fine.
Did you see about all the explosions down at the one here?
October? Oh, yeah. It was like some weird, like, power transformer thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but for a minute, people thought it was terrorism.
It was a huge explosion.
Yeah. It looked pretty bad.
Yeah. But it was just, the power. Also, they did all that power shutting off, and now our shit's on fire, like, right up the street here. What are you shutting everything down for if you're not going to prevent the fires?
Well, they shut it down in NorCal.
I know, they did it here, too. All along the foothills.
Well, it's still on fire.
Yep, so you win some, you lose some. You lose more than you win.
Yep.
We lost. It smells nice outside, though.
Yeah, it's a nice, like, Christmassy smell.
Yeah, except you're smelling someone's home and livelihood.
Yeah, probably a bunch of carcinogens as well.
Yeah.
Asbestos.
Anyways, not to go on a down note, but thank you for watching this week's episode. If you want to watch our review of The Joker or listen to the review of The Joker, head over to our Patreon page. Sign up for Patreon. Thank you very much if you are a Patreon supporter. We love you very much. You make the show possible.
Wow.
And check out our 2 latest episodes over here. We have a brand new episode of Tech News Day and a new episode of News Dump where we go through and just list all the companies that are sucking China's fat dick. Bye.
Bye.